How's it going, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I want to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Pixely Wolf, Gabriel Potter, Jason Green, Base564, Grayscale, Ty Bennett, Casey, Pro Tomahawker, Lucius, Austin Davis, Anthony, Noriden XD, Boop the Snoot, Michael Tieran, Nick, Kaya the Great, Christian Andre Cavande, Seven Gates, Aaron Bates, Diablo2604, Slivarium, Octocat, Redemption, It's Silver, Aubrey Byrne, Starkiller SCP-049, Thoughtful 03 Guy, JK844, D, Ariel, and as always, I want to give a big shout out to our executive producers, Bevan Brummett and Tavon. Thank you all very much for your support. And if you want to become a Patreon supporter, click the link in the description to find out more. We'll see you there. Alright,
here we go.
Count three. 1, 2, 3. Whee! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Alright. What do I hear? Oh no! Oh god!
What happened?
I just got hit by lawnmowers that were falling. Alright. We'll do it.
This has been requested for so long that people started making memes about it in the request channel.
Yeah.
Did you see those?
I did. I did see it. As a matter of fact, hold on. Hold on real quick. Let's see if we can find some of those memes real quick here in the request channel. There's the first meme, you know, Renegades need to react to Seth, ha ha ha. And then there's the one down here with the migraine. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I know it's just up here. There it is. Types of headaches, migraine, hypertension, stress. Renegades not reacting to Seth. Well, Bob Spike, you are
finally get over your headache, I guess.
Yes, hopefully this will assist you in recovering from your headache. So, I guess let's go ahead and see what Seth or Seth T. Zine I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, here we go.
Hey people, Seth here. Today, I'll be covering a very niche, very infamous, and very autistic game that everyone's asked me to cover since day one. A game where you and many other real, living people with questionable social intelligence roleplay together on the worst space station in the universe, where aliens, shapeshifters, and traitors working for rival corporations are the least of your concern, where the greatest threat to your own existence are your own crew members. Hungry? Come to the station canteen, where the food is definitely poisoned. Injured? Head on down to medical, where half the medication has been relabeled as happy pills. Discouraged? You can try taking a painkiller instead. But it wasn't a painkiller, it was LSD. Having a bad trip? Don't worry, there's a security officer nearby to help, but he can't respond because he was murdered and replaced by a genetically modified monkey wearing his uniform. Hallucinating? Keep calm and focus on what's real. Unfortunately for you, the supermassive black hole expanding towards you is not a hallucination. It is, in fact, very real.
The emergency shuttle has been called.
Welcome to Space Station 13. Space Station 13 has a very simple premise. Everyone has a job. Your objective? Do your best to delay the station's inevitable destruction, either at the hands of antagonists or at the hands of your own incompetent crew. Normally, I give a final score for a game at the end of a video. Not this time. Space Station 13, 10 out of 10, amazing, spectacular, don't play it. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, Space Station 13 is a fantastic game.
10 out of 10, don't play it.
I've heard that for several games in the past.
I have as well.
It's mostly, a lot of the times it's games that people say don't bother playing it because the community's so bad. So for example, Rust, Ark,
I'm glad that
League of Legends.
I'm glad that the Undertale community has calmed down to a certain extent.
Luckily, with single-player games, you can just fucking go play them and ignore everyone else. Well, like
true.
Whenever you're trying to get into a multiplayer game, the community is part of the game, and so you're gonna fucking have to interact with them.
Yeah.
And if they're stage 4 cancer, then you have to deal with that.
Yeah, best to just cut ties and never talk about it again. That's just like Undertale. When I played through my playthrough of Undertale, I had so many emails of people sending me their fanfics, their fan art, and this and that. Here's the thing, I don't mind fan art, but people sending me their fanfics that's literally like a cross-fiction of them like getting with Sans and then cheating on Sans with Papyrus and then cheating on Papyrus. And I'm just like, okay, look.
It's like, shut up!
I'm not interested.
Shut up! Oh my God, I don't care.
It's like, I'm not interested. And here's the thing. When I told that person, hey, I appreciate the thought, but this really isn't my thing. I loved Undertale, but I'm just not into fan fictions of this nature. I mean, and I might as well have told them that their existence is an affront against God, because they went on a rampage, just like hitting me. Like, I blocked their email. They went to their other email and started emailing me more. They told me.
Well, in that case, their existence is an affront against God.
They told
They're
me
gonna fucking act like that.
Yeah, they told me, in no short terms, not only should I, but I should in front of my family so that they will be inspired to follow suit, and then everyone who I ever know and love will then, and we will all be damned to hell.
I don't know if you're even allowed to put that on YouTube.
Just in case. So yeah, I've dealt with some pretty shitty people here on the internet, and all I gotta say is, it's only a game.
My personal record for the longest I've tolerated a toxic community is probably Dead by Daylight. Well, that's because I can just murder them. It's just,
well,
I'm a killer main, so I don't have to talk to them if I don't want to, and they can talk to me after I've murdered them and call me whatever names they want, but all I have to do is be like, okay, bye.
It's like
next match.
It's like murder, death, kill. Oh, by the way, I forgot to put that back up there. I took it down when Dylan was down here. Yep. Oh, by the way, that person who was in the reaction we did with that we did to the Do was Dylan. Dylan is a very nice guy, and he's also one of the most talented artistic people I've ever met. And I'd like for him to be in more videos because I like having conversations with him. Also, he's a vegan, a very nice vegan. One of the only few vegans I've ever met that I can tolerate for more than 10 minutes. Anyway, back to this.
But I genuinely don't recommend you play it. Why? Because the engine it's running on is probably older than you, because the interface is a convoluted mess, and only usable because me and every other autistic chimpanzee who plays this game has committed the hotkeys to muscle memory because of the insane time investment and commitment required for you to learn a single role, and because...
Oh, I saw that! I'm gonna have to censor that.
What was that?
Insane time investment and commitment required for you to learn a...
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
Good thing you caught that.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to keep it on screen for another 3, 2... Nah, I'll just leave it on screen forever. Now we all have to look at it.
Or just, it's censored the whole
Yeah, I'm going to leave it
so.
on screen long enough to where it's burned into my OLED TV.
Please don't.
Okay, we're moving on.
Single role, and because, to be perfectly honest, the servers can't handle all of you. At best, we could handle, like, 30 extra players before you grind the servers to a halt. For all of these reasons, Space Station 13 always was, and always will be, a niche title. And maybe that's for the best. But I can offer you something else. I've already killed your hopes and dreams of playing the game, so instead, let me share some stories of my wonderful experience with Space Station 13. These stories span several years and several different servers, the names of which will forever stay anonymous because I respect their privacy, and because I've received threats from some of the more colorful servers to not mention them by name, or else. What's gonna happen if I don't comply? Are they gonna hire a Bitcoin assassin to run me over with his mobility scooter? Is he gonna stab me with his insulin pen? I don't know, but between you and me, I hate having cum delivered to my mailbox, and would prefer to keep it that way. Anyway, I remember the first time playing Space Station very vividly. My friends told me to download it and hop on some shitty server. It had furries and erotic roleplay. More on that later. I entered around as an assistant, my job to give assistance, and to get my hands burnt off trying to hack into places I don't have access to. As I'm screwing around with airlock wires, my friend comes running down the hallway, dragging someone's unconscious body. Frantically, he tells me, "Seth, quick, can you open this door?" Sensing the urgency in his voice, I do. He throws the body inside and sprints away. The airlock closes. 3 seconds later, something explodes.
He just insists on covering up a murder.
Hey, Seth, can you open the door? Sure, buddy. Hey, what are you dragging behind you?
What are you doing with that? Like, just literally dead
It's not
guy?
important. Yeet! And then just, for some reason, the space station explodes.
What the fuck was that? I ask. Oh yeah, I fed him potassium and water pills. It takes a while to metabolize. My friend had just murdered a man in cold blood by turning his body into a living, ticking potassium bomb. As soon as the man's digestive juices cracked through the potassium tablet, it reacted violently with the water in his stomach and exploded, killing him from inside out. After such a horrific display of homicide, I realized, hey, this game's pretty good. Fast forward.
Hey, this game is pretty good.
Fair enough.
If that's what you think.
Few weeks and I'm learning roles, calling shots, and ignoring every single rule of a server. I also ignored every single rule of medicine. I was a surgeon, top of my class, destined to go where no licensed professional ever has.
I like that there's just
my
fucking
friend's girlfriend
blood
started playing
just
with us.
smearing
Blood
over
trails
the floor
everywhere.
She
behind
wasn't
him.
very good, but she was very interested in progressing the medical field in any way possible. Cargo had just delivered us some complimentary pizza, as thanks for patching up their
some
boys
pizza.
after they got a little too intimate with a xenomorph's on mining station.
Oh,
Brilliance
God.
flashed before my eyes. My pupils widened. I started physically sweating, because she said the words I've always dreamt of hearing. Please, turn me into a pizza. And so, I got to work. Nurse, get me my scalpel, tweezers, protractor, bone gel, and the rest of the unfinished pizza. One horrified clown watched in the operating theater.
Send in the clowns.
It's not too often that you see like a clown that's the one that's horrified. Just usually people are scared of the clowns.
Like,
But I just picture like, I don't know, Bozo the clown just being like,
and he can't make any noise because if he's following the mime rules that a lot of clowns follow, the only thing he can do is like, just like sound the horn. Like, do you approve? 1 honk for yes, 2 honks for no.
as I cleanly hacked off and cauterized her hands and feet. I opened the pizza box and began attaching her new cheesy limbs. "Help! Sec to surgery," the clown blurted out. "He's turning her into a Papa John's." The head of medical stormed in with a host of security officers to detain me, but they were too late. Her hands and feet had already been replaced. Surprisingly, she could walk just fine on a pair of pizza feet, but her lack of opposable pizza thumbs meant that she couldn't really hold anything, let alone pick them up in the first place. However, her pizza hands did make for a convenient and portable source of nutrition. Despite her numerous protests that she consented to the surgery, the head of medical demoted me on the spot and banned me from ever practicing medicine, claiming that you can't consent to being a pizza. I was thrown in jail for the rest of the round. Clearly, there was no appreciation for the arts on this station. So, many rounds later, me and my friends found a new purpose, cleaning up the server, one erotic, furry roleplay
It reminds
at
me
a
of
time.
the surgeon from BioShock.
Huh?
The surgeon from BioShock that decided he basically wanted to be Pablo Picasso of plastic surgery.
Yeah. Oh. God.
Using telecommunications and meta-communications, I expertly pinpointed areas of high homosexual intent, namely the dorm rooms and the showers. As two Khajiit-looking catmen meet privately with one another, they will, inevitably, start writing words such as, "Ooh, Mayak has a barbed prickly surprise for you, my friend," and, yes, "Knot me with your thick, Tajiran Trunk. This is completely unacceptable. Once an act of high homosexual intent is in motion, several of our men would mobilize. As they groan, moan, and spit out hairballs on each other, a security officer would barge in, flashbang the feline fornicators, and tag team baton them into submission before another officer handcuffs them to the bed. On the other side of a contaminated dorm room, our team's atmospheric technician sets explosive C4
Oh my
charges
God.
I like that he's dressed like
glass.
Isaac.
Quickly,
from
we
Dead
evacuate.
Space. His mask looks like Isaac's from Dead Space. It's awesome.
Now I understand why that Isaac Clarke is in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Because of that. Damn. Okay.
Well, I mean, and also it's just a space station game, so I mean, I can see the.
That's
Comparing it,
explosive C4 charges against the station glass. Quickly, we evacuate the biohazard exclusion zone and seal the airlocks. Romeo and Juliet barely have enough time to recover from the flashbang before the charges detonate, depressurizing the room and sucking their bodies out into the black vacuum of space. Another job well done. Many explosive decompressions later, erotic roleplay was considered a real occupational hazard. The Tajiran Cat Boys got creative, started doing group sessions instead, but these were quickly crushed by my friend playing the best roboticist I've ever seen in my life. The airlock doors to their sodomy chamber were welded shut to prevent interruptions, so he drilled right through them with a gigantic combat mech. The air inside was heavy with a sickly sweet smell of wet fur balls and toxoplasmosis. The furries didn't even have time to react.
Just imagine seeing that bust through the door.
Yeah. Just like all of a sudden
You're in the middle of an orgy when all of a sudden just seize your heresy, like fucking breaks through the door.
Deus Volt, brother. I love that this one's got the Borat. Oh.
Didn't even have time to react before he started unloading shell after shell of flashbang grenades, and thus we all got banned. We paid the price. But to see half the server get flashbanged unconscious for 10 minutes straight, priceless. The server didn't last long anyway. The admin's mom shut it down as soon as she saw the electricity bill, so me and my friends went on to enrich other servers. I even got good at being a chemist. In other words, I always stole the syringe gun at the start of a round and filled it with lethal doses of chloral hydrate, for my own protection, of course. I also gave whatever chemical anyone requested, which gives me some moral ambiguity and 2 degrees of separation from any pranks or murders that took place as a result of said chemicals. If a clown asks for space lube, he's gonna get space lube. One time, a clown managed to lube the entire hallway outside of medical, all the way to departures. Now, departures is usually the place where the escape shuttle docks to get us out of our quickly burning heap of a station. However, if there's no call for a shuttle, departures is completely empty, besides the airlock, which the clown had hacked open. Several people came running through medical, looked on the space loop, and accelerated themselves face first into the infinite vacuum of space.
Oh, that is unbelievable. You evil fucking bastard. Oh,
that's fantastic.
Clown. Oh, send in the clown. Oh, it's never ending. And of course they show the ginger getting ejected.
Physics denotes that if you walk into a room that's already got an airlock open, you're going to get sucked all the way to the end of the hallway and through it anyways, but it's just hilarious that you normally wouldn't because of the game physics, but he just buttered the hallway so everyone fucking slide all the way out the airlock door.
There's no escape from this.
Which the clown had hacked open. Several people came running through medical, slipped on the space loop, and accelerated themselves face first into the infinite vacuum of space. Security figured out it was the clown, and in true security fashion, also slipped on the space loop. With most of the crew floating around dead in space, the station had to be evacuated.
Fuck.
With most of the crew
He's saying it
floating
multiple
around
times.
dead in space,
Like,
the station
fuck.
had to be evacuated.
I just love the little number keeps going up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's a good,
like
they should do that in like all text chats, like instead of like let people just spam the same thing over and over and have it pop up over and over.
Instead it's like multiple.
Yeah, like it should just put a little like ×2 ×3 like next to it. That would keep spam down for sure.
It would. I think that'd be great. That's a good way to combat spam. Hey, YouTube, get on the... Oh, wait, no. You're too busy, you know, doing other stupid shit. Like, not recommending our videos. Oh, and also not only that, but not sending out notifications that our videos are released. By the way, if you saw the beginning of this video, we are doing a thing where we're basically saying, hey, our video... Hey, just so you know, YouTube isn't sending out notifications.
Well, we upload literally every day.
We upload literally every day. So be sure to come back every day for new content. That's basically all. Like I don't know what else to say. YouTube, fix this, please.
From playing clown ever again. Several rounds later, I finally spawned as a traitor.
Mission specifications decrypted. Welcome to the Syndicate.
And I had no idea what I was doing. But I wanted my first time to be special. Conveniently, an assistant comes in, bleeding all over, because he was probably trying to break into the armory without insulated gloves. His character sprite had maximum melanin and an afro. His roleplay-friendly name was Madick. An idiot, but a useful idiot. There were...
First name Sug. Or Tug.
No medical staff on hand except me, so I said, hey,
Oh, I think he was about to say something there.
A useful idiot. There were no medical staff...
I think he about said something.
On hand except me, so I said, hey, I know a little bit of surgery, let me fix you up. I put him under general
no, he was just going to say, technically, I'm not a doctor. Technically, I'm not a doctor.
And took out my Syndicate PDA. With this, I can discreetly teleport a few traitor items into my inventory to help me achieve my objective, which in this case was murdering the head of security. I ordered 2 sets of voice-activated explosives, which trigger upon hearing the recorded code phrase. I set this to the word most likely to be spoken by this mentally retarded human being. Can you guess what that is? I surgically opened his...
Oh! Careful!
ass and inserted the first of the explosives. Then I lodged the second one neatly inside his chest cavity. Closing them up, I took off the anesthetic and began to put my plan in action. I would arm this simple-minded moron with illegal weaponry, with the hopes that security would detain him on possession charges. I gave him all the LSD, all the chloral hydrate syringes, and an entire spray bottle of space lube. I had expertly equipped him to be the ultimate griefing machine. Proud of my work, I gave him a hug and set him loose on the world. But just before he left medical, he turned around and said, "Thanks,
Damn it.
Nick's face is as red as a cherry.
I didn't expect that.
You know what? We're already in on this, so I'm just gonna do it. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna say it.
No, you're not.
Pee-wee's Playhouse. We're already in on this. I'm gonna have to edit this multiple times. Oh, this is gonna be pain. Oh, I just got a message from Chad. Oh no. Oh, why would you send me that?
And we both exploded. My other times playing antagonist went about just as well. Once I started as the leader of a cult. Our objective was to seize control of the station and sacrifice our mortal bodies to summon a physical manifestation of our dark god. However, I wasn't very good at it, and neither were my servants. We found a nice, quiet, and most importantly, abandoned bar near the north end of the station, which we began redecorating with our own blood. You see, cultists need to learn a set of ancient ancient words that's randomly generated every round. If you arrange them in the right order, you can perform different spells and rituals to advance your goals. We didn't get far, because the most dangerous thing to an incompetent cult is a single crew member doing their job. The fucking janitor found us. We tried to negotiate, convince him that it's actually crayon and not blood all over the floor, but that didn't work, so we tried to murder him instead. That didn't work either. He used his mop to slip us with soapy water and ran off to call security. As you can see, I'm not very proficient at being a traitor. More often, I find myself being abused by traitors. Some of the worst offenders in this regard are definitely wizards, since wizards have a bad tendency to sexually abuse me as well. Not too long ago, me and my friends played a round that was already in progress. As soon as we entered, we realized something was very wrong. An announcement played on the radio. Penis Inspection Day is in effect. All crew members must report to Doc Johnson for their mandatory penis inspection. Doc Johnson was, very clearly, a wizard. I knew what was coming, and yet I resigned myself to fate and went to medical reception. Doc Johnson was overjoyed to have new patients. He led me to a private room, asked me if I'm circumcised, and told me that I passed the inspection with flying colors. What a surprise, I thought. He's not actually gonna grief me. But I was wrong. As I turned away to leave, he blew off my ass magically. Hey, it's wizardry. I ain't gotta explain shit. Anyway, Doc Johnson is a terrible doctor. He left me bleeding on the floor as he took my ass cheeks and used them as a hat. Hi.
Are you shitting me?
You can shave your ass and put it on your head.
Unprofessional, would not recommend. A round of Space Station 13 can be very intense. At other times, it can be very slow-paced and almost relaxing. If you're not a traitor and you don't have anything urgent to handle, you can always just roleplay and get comfy in a bar, while the piano plays anime songs and the jukebox plays whatever deep-fried ASMR bullshit people keep putting on. It's a very wholesome experience, and it helps you get emotionally invested with the other members of your crew, which are often nice people. However, security is often staffed by egotistical megalomaniacs acting out their most depraved power fantasies. They are often not nice people. As a result of their inherent propensity to be insane sociopaths, the rest of the crew will often rebel against their tyranny. In one such case, cargo had declared independence. Security refused to recognize the independent station state of Cargonia, so they tried to barge their way in and arrest everyone involved, including me. But security was unprepared for the trap we had in store. One officer rushed into cargo bay and slipped on a banana peel straight into the conveyor belt waiting for him. He tried repeatedly to get back up, only to be tripped again by an ocean of banana peels on the conveyor belt, which looped around in a circle. Surrounding that circle was another circle, composed entirely of vending machines. The officer was also being brutally assaulted by several hundred cans of soda. The vending machines were hacked, and as a result, they would continuously fire drinks at whoever is in the area. Each officer that slipped into the banana belt got smashed unconscious by a relentless stream of Discount Dan soda. Trademark, all rights reserved. After extensive head trauma by our soda turrets, security reluctantly accepted Cargonia's independence and their right to bear arms. If there's one department that has more revolutions than cargo, it would have to be science, and it's easy to understand why. We spend our lives researching away for the good of the station, which
Damn, Wheels.
does of course carry its own share of risks and hazards. Sometimes accidents happen. Sooner or later, some bored and mentally challenged assistant will try and put a bag of holding into another bag of holding, and security can't always comprehend that we're not directly responsible for the resulting black hole eating through the kitchen. This lack of appreciation for the scientific profession usually ends with arrest warrants for the whole department, which is usually answered back with the words, "I'd like to see you try." But when we're not having a nuclear arms race with security, R&D is actually quite a chill department. I also made a great discovery last time I played there. Me and another scientist were messing around with blueprints and eventually made ourselves a pneumatic cannon. Normally, these are used to launch whatever items you have inside. What we didn't know was that it could launch food as well. I loaded a lasagna, aimed for the mouth, and fired it at my fellow researcher. The lasagna disappeared. What the hell? That's amazing, he said. We just realized what happened. I had just managed to remotely force-feed my fellow man. But what do we do with his forbidden knowledge? Nothing good, that's for sure. My comrade got to work asking chemistry for hallucinogenic drugs. They said no, so we built our own chemistry dispensers, filled up the beakers with happy juice, and ran straight to the kitchen. We injected all the donuts and hot pockets we could find with as much LSD and mindbreaker toxin as they could hold. Then we loaded them into our food delivery system and started firing off at everyone in the hallways. The food was instantly delivered. The crew was instantly satisfied. Several people, including security officers, managed to see the 2 small lines of text indicating that they've just been fed something. They thought it was extremely clever and said they didn't know the pneumatic cannon could do that. Since it was just a bit of harmless fun, we got off scot-free. Minutes later, the hallucination started. Crew members started screaming on the radio. Some were puking, shaking, or convulsing on the ground. Medical couldn't keep up with the bodies. They piled on too quick, and most of the doctors were too busy fighting off non-existent entities to do anything about it. The chemist, who originally refused to give us LSD, was arrested by security on suspicion of intentional food poisoning. It was complete pandemonium, and I think it illustrates perfectly the chaos that is Space Station 13.
Everyone's dead.
Damn.
That's all I have for you today, folks. There is, of course, more stories to tell, but we'd literally be here for hours. Space Station 13, a marvelous, unique, and incredibly shitty game. 10 out of 10, don't play it, because if you do, they're gonna blame it on me, and I hate having cum in my mailbox. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. On other news, I started a Subscribestar account, so if you'd like to invest and don't want to give your money to Patreon, now you can. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild, generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
That was pretty good.
In 2125, I was on a mining colony.
Damn.
There's a lot of
A lot of
subs.
patrons. They're still in the A's. Holy cow.
Damn.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was friggin' hilarious. Yeah.
I think I laughed harder than I've laughed in quite some time at that.
Per video. Look at that, dude. Look at that. And how many vids does this dude post? Like, every 3 or 4 months.
Elden Ring one was the one that I had heard that he did recently.
Elden Ring review, Dark Souls 4, Dung Eater edition. Oh god. Probably have to do that one next.
Only thing is I slightly worry about spoilers.
Fair enough.
So I'm still only like maybe a third of the way into it, if that.
But
I'm slow.
that's
I haven't played in a couple weeks until today. So.
also the shit posting is real. Also, the edge is real. Holy shit! I'm gonna have to edit quite a bit of that.
I mean, it wasn't directly him.
I know it wasn't.
It was just the fact he was
but
playing.
YouTube doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, I know.
You know
It was just it was just the fact that he was playing a game where there are people like that. So I mean, I'm not putting any blame on him by any means.
Oh no, by no means. I mean, I thought it was funny. I thought everything in this was genuinely funny. It's just, I'm like,
I mean, the funniest part was a joke involving that word.
oh yes,
But it wasn't just because it was
Thanks.
that. It wasn't
Thanks,
because
neighbor.
it was that word. It was the like. That's a funny idea because you know he's going to fucking go say that word because edgelord kid, basically, and then he just comes back and says thanks in that word.
Thanks, neighbor.
Then you fucking explode.
Yep.
Like,
And the only thing you can do after doing all that work is just sit there and go. Yeah. Because what can you do?
I would have been totally okay with it. I would have been like, I deserve that, and it was hilarious. So
Good God. All right, so let's see here. There's.
It was a good plan in theory. It was just
I get props, dude.
one particular contingency he didn't
give
account for
props.
was the idea of the guy saying the word before he got out of his
Sayonara, neighbor.
Out
Yeah.
of his practice.
So, all right, that was a lot of fun. I'm worried about, I'm worried about several things when it comes to this, but at the same time,
There's a lot of editing that's going to go into that, I'm sure. A lot of beeps.
only for geniuses. Let's see. Can you do this math?
That would be... I'm bad at mountain math, but
In terms of so this minus this equals
be negative 13.
negative 13.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get that?
Order of operations.
Because of this?
Yep, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. 3 times 6 is 18, right?
Yep.
And then 3 minus 18 is negative 15, right?
Yep.
And then negative 15 plus 2 is negative 13.
Correct.
So.
You got it. Good job. Description. I do it for the money.
I mean, it doesn't really take a genius to do elementary school level math, 5th grade level math, but...
It doesn't, but when you're out of practice, I mean, you kind of have to reaffirm yourself, like, okay, we're good, yeah. So, okay, that was Seth T. Zintak, or Seth. Thanks for the recommendation. I now have cancer. I guess until next time, everybody, signing off. If you want to check out more from Seth, his name will be highlighted in the title of the video. You can actually click, go to his channel, watch his videos. I mean, this is our first one, and if people make more requests of us doing this, then we probably will, because that was genuinely funny.
Assuming he's okay with people reacting to his
That's
stuff,
the other thing, too. If Seth comes out and says he doesn't want us reacting
You
to
always
his
have a
stuff,
small % chance when we do a reaction to somebody new that they don't really want reactions to their
And
stuff. So.
and here's the thing you all need to understand. We are perfectly fine with that, and if Seth does not want us reacting to his stuff, then that's the way it is. I mean, hell, we had to do that with Joe Cat back in the day. Joe Cat didn't like us reacting to his Dungeons and Dragons animated things that he did, where he talked about the different classes. And he basically told us, hey, can you all stop not react to my stuff, and also can you take them down? And I was like, sure, why not? Absolutely. Because, dude, I'm not going to get in a knife fight with somebody on the internet, even though personally I believe, what we do and how we do it is more than enough to, meet fair use. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth it. And plus, I respect creators
we're
on
making
this
an enemy
platform.
of somebody that you actually like their stuff either.
Well, yeah, and also I respect creators' right to demand that control of what they put out there, and we're pretty easygoing guys, and I'm not gonna fight it. I believe in what we're doing, but I'm not gonna deliberately go out of my way to piss someone off.
Yeah.
It's just not in my character. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it, everyone. Again, check out Seth by clicking his name in the title of the video. If you want to see more from us, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe, and until next time, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
See you later, everybody. Peace.